Fabrizio Romano has dropped a double midfield update for Manchester United. Jobe Bellingham to United could be on the cards as well. Benjamin Sesko, we're talking Benjamin Sesko reacting to that graphic on social media yesterday. I've got something to say about that. And finally, a little roundup of the international exploits of last night. United players were in action. But how are we doing, guys? Welcome back to TurkTalksFC. This is your daily Manchester United roundup in around 10 minutes. Please like the video, subscribe if you're new and you want daily Manchester United content, and get in touch in the comments. I want to hear from you. But for now, let's get straight into today's roundup. And first of all, Fabrizio Romano has a double midfield update for Manchester United fans. And first of all, Adam Wharton is the name on most people's lips at the moment. And Fabrizio Romano has said, Manchester United are interested in signing Adam Wharton, but Crystal Palace won't entertain any offers until after next summer's World Cup. Several clubs will be in the race for Adam Wharton, as he is considered one of the best talents in Europe in the midfield position. It's fair enough, right? Crystal Palace are well within their right. He's under contract to Crystal Palace until 2029. They're under no pressure to sell. But we spoke about this in yesterday's video. Adam Wharton would be pretty perfect for United's rebuild. We know United are going into a rebuild next year. We're going to sign one, maybe even two midfielders. Carlos Baleba also linked. I'd like this. But it's fair, you can't expect Crystal Palace to easily sell Adam Wharton in January because he's so important to them. They're trying to get Champions League qualification this season. They're second, third in the Premier League. So, one to watch, but there's going to be a lot of competition. Also from Romano, on an outgoing, several clubs in England, Spain and Italy are interested in signing Kobbie Mainoo on loan in January if his situation doesn't improve. Mainoo's creating no problems at United. He's staying professional. He's working hard for more opportunities. Ruben Amorim wants him to stay, but we know what the problem is here. He views Kobbie Mainoo as Bruno Fernandes's competition, and he's not going to drop Bruno Fernandes. That is the main reason why Kobbie Mainoo isn't getting game time right now. Kobbie Mainoo is well within his rights to want to leave United on loan in January if he's not playing. It's a World Cup year. Everyone wants to play. And Kobbie Mainoo, we know how talented he is. He started for England in the Euros final, a couple of years ago. Well within his rights to want game time. And you can't blame him for looking to leave. So we'll have to keep an eye on this one. Right now, I don't know where he's going to get his game time from if Bruno Fernandes continues to start, because Ruben Amorim doesn't want them starting together. Jobe Bellingham. This is new. So, Bild are reporting that Manchester United are circling Jobe Bellingham along with Crystal Palace. Bellingham is growing frustrated over his lack of playing time at Borussia Dortmund. Ruben Amorim is said to be a big fan of Bellingham. He appreciates his physical robustness and believes he would fit his system well. Now, Jobe Bellingham joined Borussia Dortmund from Sunderland in the summer for around £28 million, following in his brother Jude Bellingham's footsteps. But not been great for him so far. He's only started 3 games for Dortmund. He's come on in the other 6 games as a substitute. He's been kept out of the team by Felix Metscher, who was also linked with United in the summer, actually. He's playing quite well this season. He's keeping Bellingham out of the team. And Bellingham is growing frustrated. Playing well for England, though. This was last night. England beat Andorra 1-0, the England under-21s, and manager Lee Carsley said, I think he will be an all-round box-to-box player. He can be creative, score goals. I still feel he can score more goals. His shooting is excellent, especially in training. He can link and receive in tight areas. And that, for me, suggests that he could be a pretty interesting option to replace Bruno Fernandes at United, because we know Casemiro is leaving at the end of the season, but we're also going to need that more advanced midfield player to replace Bruno Fernandes, because even though he's rejected Saudi, I still think after the World Cup there is a very good possibility that Bruno Fernandes leaves the club. So that's where the Adam Wharton mould comes in as well. But Jobe Bellingham could be an option for United, and if Dortmund have just bought him for 28 million, they're not really using him. Who knows? Maybe in January, a loan option could be there to get Jobe Bellingham some minutes. That said, if Bruno Fernandes is still at the club, he could just fall into the same trap as Kobbie Mainoo, couldn't he? So, one to watch though. Very interesting. Now, Benjamin Sesko. I mean, if you didn't see this yesterday, you're either not on social media, so good for you, or you're living under a rock. Listen, I'm not going to waste too much breath on this, but what has happened to The Athletic? You know, once a unique publication because of how well balanced they were and non-biased, now they're resorting to negativity pays tactics. You know, it's like they've gone into that machine in the horror movie The Fly, and they've come out and they're this monstrous mishmash of The Sun, The Daily Star, and Metro all in one. What is happening to The Athletic? You know, you don't need me to tell you that this was just ludicrous. I mean, I made my thoughts very clear in it on X yesterday, as you can see, but essentially, The Athletic have asked 20 agents to vote for their worst signing of the summer, and 6 of them voted for Benjamin Sesko. James Trafford with 3 votes, realistically the clear winner here. You know, he's been absolutely stitched up by Manchester City. A few Liverpool flops there that The Athletic continue to defend, but Benjamin Sesko, if there's one Manchester United player who going into this international break that I didn't expect to be scapegoated, it was Benjamin Sesko. You know, 2 goals in 4 Premier League starts. That's already half the tally of Rasmus Højlund of the entirety of last season. He scored in back-to-back games before the international break at Brentford against Sunderland, and he has shown clear signs of improvement every single week. The way he brings the ball down from the air, the way he makes the ball stick from the air, on the ground. He's been linking up attacks. He's been making United's attack tick with his link-up play. I think it's been such an impressive start from him, considering he's a 22-year-old striker who's come from overseas and joined one of the most scrutinised clubs in the world, well, the most scrutinised club in the country by a distance. But of course, listen, he's the United player that these publications have used to target during the international break. There's always one. You know, Manchester United makes the world go round. But hey, look, it's all right. At least The Athletic continue to defend their precious Liverpool players. Definitely nothing to do with the fact that The Athletic are in a merger with the New York Times, who just so happen to have strong links with FSG, Liverpool's owners. Bit smelly, isn't it? But yeah, we're just going to have to let Benjamin Sesko do the talking on the pitch. It's embarrassing, though. You know, I do hope The Athletic sort themselves out, because what are we paying £8 a month for? You know, it's meant to be a unique publication with unmatched insight, and they're resorting to this tactic for cheap interactions. And to be fair to them, they got their interactions, they got their engagement. I think when I took that screenshot, the tweet had like 3.3 million views. So they know what they're doing, and it's a shame that another publication has fallen under that spell, you know. But Benjamin Sesko now knows what it's like to be a Manchester United player. Anyone not affiliated with this football club is just salivating at the mouth of a United player failing. So I think he has the talent to shut them up, and I hope he does. Speaking of Benjamin Sesko, though, quite funny, because had a bit of a stinker last night for Slovenia. I mean, to be fair, I actually watched a bit of this game because I wanted to see what it was like for the international team. It was a tough watch. It was not a good time. They drew 0-0 against Switzerland. Benjamin Sesko started, played the full match. He also played the full match against Kosovo last week. That was also a 0-0 draw. They're not a good national team. Doesn't look like they're going to qualify for the World Cup. But Benjamin Sesko wasn't his best night. You know, 1 shot, 31 touches, 1 dribble attempted, wasn't successful. Lost possession 9 times. Only 71% passing accuracy from 21 passes. Yeah, not good stats really. But 5 out of 7 aerial duels won. We know that he's very good in the air, and it's good to see that that's coming off in international duty as well. Brian Mbeumo also played the full match for Cameroon. They drew 0-0 as well against Angola. Andre Onana captained Cameroon in that one. And finally, Lenny Yoro started for France's under-21s. They beat Estonia 6-1. He only played the first half, so he's going to be ready to go at Liverpool on Sunday. That is it for today's roundup. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please support the channel by smashing that like button. Get involved in the comments. I want to hear from you. What are you getting up to today? And I'll catch you next time.